It almost relies on, and actually noting Sonder and Flower on the desk, those are the two power players for Shopify here. So, yes, there's definitely a chance, but I'm hoping that G2 bring across that same kind of ferocious approach to some of these early rounds and really set the precedent early here.
Let's get into it now. G2, can they pull this back to a 2-2, or will this be that 3-1 at the desk? Thinking quite likely at this point. Plenty to be seen, and we were thoroughly impressed by the look by Shopify Rebellion on this one. Incredible work. Some of these reveals from KP were just out of this world. Giuliano with the early walk up towards Tube, and to deal with the trap quite early on.
Belisa here though to greet it. Should be here too, but Mary none the wiser. That P coming through. Will she get the second though? Giuliano equalizes here. Flowerful desperate to try and respond. Doesn't get it.
Okay, it's being ferried over towards B. Does actually catch Mimi, not Giuliano here. So, going to be noting at least one more player around middle. They should have the fight on the site.
And that's the heal gone though as well. So Giuliano going to have to ride this out on 19 HP. And she's got visitors here. We'll find the first.
Still got one. Hey, worth the value at that point.
Definitely.
Do get the plant down. Let's see what Glance. Petra can do this. Never seems to work out. You play CT, it always seems to go terribly wrong. But hey, you know what? I'm down for a new outcome.
Glance will catch the cross though.
Petra.
Popping B and KP upstairs in kitchen.
Needs to make this clean. And actually now it's problems for Petra. How's she got another? KP, great work. But a 1v1 and Glance is ice cold with it.
Beautiful post-plant setup there. Again, Glance's position enabling that swing on site to come through. Fantastic way to flip that back in their advantage. Early on though, G2 almost doing the same as what we alluded to. Maybe Shopify doing, showing presence towards kitchen. These sorts of things are what pull players out of position on the defense. So Giuliano even finding the first here is massive value.
Yeah. Okay. It's getting tense now. I was really impressed with the balancing act that they struck between, you know, kind of Benito almost soloing that B site when they pulled Flowerful over, and we saw so many teams struggling with getting a grip on what Shopify Rebellion were doing on this side as well. So I wonder what G2 have extrapolated from that, being able to watch it. At this point, Sonder.
Double shorty setup here.
See how this gets cleared. Contact made. Not much damage done. There it is. KP's the one to get first found, but they still haven't got past this. That's the first bit of damage. And actually, Sonder gets away with a life. No. Paint shells there, and Mimi overwhelms the angle. They're going to lose one, but they take the site as an exchange.
Here.
It's planting. No questions asked. Flowerful not even challenging just yet. The very late wall coming through. Cut off the possibilities even further here for Shopify in this 2v4 retake. Actually, Benito stuck the other side of this wall with a shorty. I think even spotted here with the ping coming through, yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, nice and easy clean up here for G2 Benito. Now down to 20 HP.
And I rarely talk about it, but because it doesn't affect, I feel, G2 in the same way as others do. But having a clean start here, you know, if let's say they get the gun round 2. Bonus, not so much worried about, but it should be pretty solid considering the buy they're playing with. But assuming all goes well. Yeah, okay. just wait a second. But they're not normally a team that needs confidence. But I think, considering how the first 2 maps went, having a clean start here could actually get the mental for G2 in the right place. Whereas Shopify Rebellion, they still have, you know, maps to play with. You don't want to go the distance, though.
No.
You want to win here. Like, it has to be here.
I think what's most important is talking about G2 establishing that momentum, right? We know how they like to maintain that level of pressure in terms of the pacing of some of these rounds. We saw what happened on Ascent, right?
Okay, pacey beginning. Giuliano turning the screws. Identifying Benita's isolation over towards that B site. But there is support here. Not alone this time around. Flatful with the follow-up, but it's Glance with the trade out. It's still all effectively in favor to G2. Noting additional players towards Kitchen early on as well. They've got a good read on this positioning. Mary, stunning shots. And the last 2 now. Not quite a formality, but feeling somewhat like it.
Comes through. Mary looking sharp here on the start of IceBox. Sonder, the last one to find. Beautiful, crispy shots from Mary. That's 4 to survive here around 3, so a big boom to the economy.
And I absolutely love the pace change there as well, Mike. That just right up the guts. Giuliano just straight in there.
It's key as well, you notice as well, identifying that Benita's sort of on this island. A much better start, I think, well, I don't even want to quote the numbers from the previous, but already here 6-1.
Maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
6-1 here on IceBox. 1 away from the showstopper. That'll be online for the buy round, actually, potentially.
Big, yeah.
A massive tool at G2's disposal. Looks like Flowerful might get a little curious towards mid here. It's only Giuliano noted outside B. That seems enough of an indicator for Shopify to force their way through. Petra got to be careful on this crossover, because Mimi doesn't actually have any information on mid here, but
Petra
Shopify drifting away from it.
Okay, diligent peek. Not lazy. There it is, nice from Petra, finds Sonda. Shopify Rebellion not really finding their footing in this round yet. Normally quite deadly in these though, so don't completely rest on this. Giuliano deals with one, Mimi again. This is clean. This is looking more like Ascent than anything else. There it is, Laurie. Could do a bit more damage here. Glance needs to be careful, not overextend. Do not give opportunities because look what's happening. Yes, there is a flank on the way, but still, keep it clean. Do not make it costly. Mimi is there. G2 shut down the round with 3 standing.
This first ult cycle is going to look very comfortable for G2. Res online as well. 2 away from the Viper's bit, Petra 2 off as well. This is just clinical from G2. Like I said, even the diligence you noted from Petra drifting back across mid here. Shopify actually, they call the timeout here, coming into round 5. Again, lots of considerations to make. It's one that actually, if it does slip in favor of G2, that snowball effect comes into play.
Yeah. I do wonder how this feels for Shopify Rebellion, because in such a unique position, kind of outdoing a lot of expectations, being the underdog here, it's time and time again, and they get off to the perfect start. They kind of put themselves finally in that favorable spot, right, where you're expected to close to a degree, and then now you're starting to get a little bit of a fight back. Perfect
start, yes, but it's always such a crazy dynamic to see such a one-sided map come through. Yeah. In a best of 5, in a grand finals, it can really throw things off kilter. A real confidence killer, right?
Can be.
But 2, yes, Shopify felt cleaner on the first 2, but it definitely wasn't, exceptionally one-sided.
No, they weren't blowout games. They were still quite close. And I think a lot of us noted a couple of players being a little bit quiet for G2 here and there. They did build up eventually throughout those games. But hey, if they turn it on now, what does it matter? I mean, even last map, Giuliano looked absolutely locked in. Yeah, the focus ferocious. Is we are getting back underway though. Shopify Rebellion with a purchase this time. Oh, it's not too far away. Benita 1 off from hers. And then 2 mostly throughout, apart from Laurie, who's 3 off still. So, Benita getting a little proactive here. Did that get noted? Apparently not. Benita getting away with a little bit of murder there. I think maybe the shots were noted, though. So Petra should know there's 2 stacked up here. Benita's still walking. Dangerous, Benita. So risky. I don't know if the reward was high enough for that one. I mean, this composition as well, losing Benita so early on in the round, gives G2 so many options. Certainly does. You can see that just pumping the brakes here, G2. Just going to pause for thought apart from Glance, who's making a little bit of progress towards Tube. Beyond that, everyone else holding somewhat of these extremities. You can still see that trap in place as well. Petra the one to build towards the A site. That feels like map control gone, right? Trap down, Benita gone, no possibility of smokes or that wall going up. It's really going to pull Shopify into an awkward position, but Glance caught off guard. Yeah, just as she was about to move away, KP takes that space back, but it is still eyeing up towards the safe site. 1 player seen, but still 2 there. Laurie on the site itself, and Sonda not far away. Giuliano gonna have to deal with this one. High flash comes in! The ult comes out. Petra in unison as well, clears the site. SKP made it there eventually, but by now Spike's gonna go down. Can KP do anything about this one? Where's Flatful in this too? Red's gonna come out and maybe a quick punish on that, or at least a consideration of it. Not gonna happen. Mimi's there. Back up to 4 standing and Flowerful. Oh, well, not looking so good now. Giuliano offers herself up to that almost. Creeping out. Finding 3 here would be near on unthinkable.
Mary's deep position makes it even harder as well, so Flowerful just considering holding on to this. I mean, even if she dies here, got the tour de force regardless. I think Petra will look for it.
5-0, Mike.
Yep, that's a very concerning round to see G2 close out convincingly. And like I said, it's Benita just drifting so far ahead of the mark. Then the trap being dealt with, and like I said, it forces Shopify to act. They have to do something. I mean, actually, after finding the kill onto Glance here,
Yeah.
there's just so much progress made towards A already. It didn't even matter. G2 didn't even need the Viper on this execute.
G2!
5-0 now, G2. Giving us potentially a very long evening.
I have the spike.
And ideally a very good game. Now we need that wake-up call to hit for Shopify. Yes, you did well in the first two, but this is a matter of a marathon. It is not a sprint by any means. You have to be willing to go the distance. Show that longevity and discipline over time. And Benita tested now.
Finally backing away. Mimi just coming through now with the wall.
Face your fear!
Actually, a trade-off of ultimates here, but Mary finds a kill onto Flowerful.
Oh, the ping though. Complimenting KP about this previously, and so much damage achieved, making these pistols so much more deadly. Even the Bulldog's still in play. Petra down low, Mimi down a little lower. Petra looking on the chopping block. Yeah, so much invested. Petra, can you get something? No, gone down. Benita's there. 3 now alive. Viper's Pit just came through, I'm pretty sure as well. Yeah, absolutely. And Juliana's just going to walk it through the IceBox, through the ice. Can't quite melt Benita, who's still alive, but only for a moment. And KP with it all to do. Oh, and she's done it. Catching off guards in the end, around with nothing, making something of it.
Yeah, it almost feels like another round we noted previously in this series, almost hitting that panic button on a lesser purchase here, but converting the Thrifty. And Shopify have had a great track record here in Berlin of doing so. Another one to add to this. Massive damage done by KP with this Hunter's Fury.
Player standing. One enemy remaining.
Even with Giuliano barreling into the Viper's Pit, you think it's all going to fall apart for them.
But I do want to be, you know, bringing it back down to earth here. That was heroics from KP.
Yeah.
I mean, that was beyond what we'd seen. Maybe enough to instigate something for the rest of Shopify, but we need to start seeing that soon. As G2 will be right back to business now. A little bit of a difference here for Laurie. See what the protocol list looks like for G2 to clear close.
Glance going to post up early in this mid lurk. KP now wise to what she's been up to. Kind of doubling down on that trap. G2 just waiting to see if Mary gets an opportunity.
Oh, the Boombot.
Boombot's massive, but Sonda great for the counter peek.
Big trade though for Mary there. Finding Sonda, quickly going to quell that threat from building. Laurie's position. Did take that damage early on, had to fall away from the angle of playing up towards pipes, but back towards the side they go. No harm, no foul at this point. One apiece traded out. Giuliano on one side and Sonda on the other.
G2 just on cutting sound. Maybe waiting for an overstep here, or maybe for the toxin cooldown.
Welcome to my
Actually, the Viper's Pit going to be employed. Should give them decent access towards site here. So forcing Benito a little bit deeper, and like I said, Laurie a little disconnected. Petra's ahead of the wall though.
You could read lips. I think you know how they felt about that one. Benita has to back away though. No one able to actually punish off the back of that. Could have been a problem, but it isn't. For now, they're down to 3. Benita, Flowerful, and KP trying to work this back through. You got Benita, who's been lingering on this side for a while now. Takes those first couple of steps in the positions. Ratty, but she's seen it, and she finds it. Petra goes down. Now an even affair, 3 apiece, but bear in mind that ult is still in play. Oh, Mary, eyes from above, keeping watch on the drop over, but Flowerful's trying to meet me. First glance at this, oh, she's fine. Glance, no sweat, but Mary with another big round.
Yeah, key time for that swing to come through from all the way back on belt. G2 answer back, and even with actually flipping the Thrifty, Birch is going to be fairly uncomfortable here for Shopify. Might just be the hero rifle. So there's a moment there, if Benita didn't give up some of this space, could have capitalized on Petra being ahead of that wall. Been very, very unfortunate.
Let's go, high five. Jesus.
G2 in another position now to convert around. Oh, Shopify have another good shot at this Thrifty. See if they can convert another. Well, no, actually, G2 respect it.
Not this round. Shopify, not really much to bring in with. You got the hero rifle and Flowerful, but beyond that, it's really scrappy. Benita left all alone on B. You can already see that she's making good progress here. Benita now spotted. Nowhere to really go on this one, nowhere to fall back to. So, one going to come in. Nice shot from KP.
Kill.
That's a rifle recovered, I'm pretty sure. So that's 2 rifles in play, KP. I mean, ooh, I can't make jokes.
Yep.
I can't be making jokes today. Petra! Oh, maybe I'll get fined, who knows. That's the first verbal warning. For now, we have the 2 rifles, Sonda and KP with theirs. Classic with Laurie. But for threats, it's brutal to try and get to the site. They're trying to cut me off, folks. They've heard me. KP found, second, found, Mary. Want to do it all herself. Doesn't have to, though. 3 behind her. And the time running away from Sonda here. This is going to be 7. Not much else to say. G2 running this game back so far. 7-1. Shopify need to wake up here.
You see that decisiveness come through for Shopify once again, and not Benita. Seen her drift a couple of times looking for this first engagement. So there's just no weakness, it feels like, for G2. There's nothing really for Shopify to try and exploit. Mary back on that operator.
We go. Here.
G2 stacked up once again outside 8.
Bomb buddy out.
It's going to be Glance or Giuliano towards mid, maybe even just relying on a little bit of that conditioning early on. Has drawn 3 members of Shopify here. KP, Laurie, and Sonda, all desperate to try and negate some of this pressure early on, but there's nobody on the other side of it.
Now this is quick work and quiet so far, not really having to give away too much on the way through. Benita just back of sight. At least there's no Yoru around the side of the head this time. Gonna get the best of Giuliano. So not for free here. I'll have a fight on the site itself. Spike gets collected, and a lot of presence now noted over by screens.
We're all going to go up. Last going to try and put the snake bite down slow. Shopify's advance. Wouldn't be in. Mary's back in that power position with the operator this time around. And the possibility to reset all the way back towards Belt once again.
This position from Petra could be huge as well. Yeah, it's stunning from Petra too, but they are answered. Glance takes a step further ahead though by 410, finding Sonda on the way in. Glance pulling all that attention to try and play in Mary on this position. Do they clear it? Do they not? It seems like not is the answer here. A little bit messy, and Flowerful can't get to it to survive, and G2 striding through the game now. There's a reason they are the team to beat. The ability to come back in these series, this is looking like we are going the distance.
Great discipline shown on this post plant as well. Petra's position paying off. And Glance and Mary just slipping into this crossfire here. Glance actually bailing out Mary with the 2 final kills. And a massive gap now. A 7-round deficit for Shopify. And we did see them find a lot of success on their attack. Like I said, those conditioning factors, the mind games they were able to employ. Again.
Oh, okay. It's all going their way now. The game feels hard to lose almost when you're having some of these moments. Just feeling it out. Giuliano going to get HP back to full. And already playing with the player advantage. Benita going down. So do they decide to maybe explore the B side? Do they feel that maybe Flower falls over there? What can they read into this? Taking their time here, G2.
Maybe feeling as if they've created a little bit of a gap here. 3 members of Shopify looking to explore outside A.
Yeah.
Well, the timing, G2 are going to be able to backstab Flowerful here.
Oh, the timing on
What is that?
I don't know what just happened. Flowerful somehow got 3 within the split second. We didn't see it.
No way!
She got 4! Show me it again. could be 5 here.
30 seconds left.
Flowerful on for the ace. They're trying to give it to her. She's got it.
Oh, thank you. You are...
Now give me that damn replay.
I was staring at the minimap and I was thinking if they drift under tube here, holding the angle towards Boiler. This is ridiculous.
Ooh.
Enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Flowerful is
Amazing.
so damn good.
Yeah. Now you
What
just
a
need
way
a
to
couple more
flip
of
this
those,
again. Bringing nothing into this.
No, nothing. They had absolutely no right to do that. Still, we have to go back into this. 2 rounds. They need to close with it, whatever they can. And Flowerful off to a start. Observers, stop watching anyone other than Flowerful. There you go. That's your lesson. How
It's another
dare
Prius
you?
moment. Petra, though, will respond. Sonda will fall. Giuliano now with the showstopper, trying to create a little bit of space towards A site. The follow-up actually with the Nightfall. Not going to tag anything at all, but Glance picking up Benita on that lurk.
And now look at so much of the space has been taken over here. Laurie's found Mimi. Glance, yeah, perfect, lovely shot from Glance. And the ult going to be invested just to really deny any access points. That choke is under wraps, Glance has it. And what can KP and Flowerful do with this now? They're trying to clear close, but KP not given any chances at this. Flowerful need more of what that round was just now. Need to find 3 here. The time is really against you, and look at the utility in the way. Just gonna get melted down. Glance. See her in a second. Yep, got her. And Glance having a round right back at you. KP, not gonna happen. G2. This game looking way too easy now.
Yeah, Shopify unable to build anything on the back of a thrifty flip once again. Luckily, though, come into this tour de force available, so rifles across the board.
Down A.
So Glance so impactful in this position. As I said, the ultimate just seals the deal.
1 enemy remaining.
Can even hear she's staring down. 2 horrendous outcomes regardless of how round 12 ends.
Anyway, KP gonna spot contact quick. Gonna know the player going on towards the top of tube. That's gonna be Giuliano. Our drone right back in. Sonda's there, not far off it. Giuliano has to respect that. Has to pull away. Big exchange here at the start towards middle.
Yeah, Mary almost hanging around here to wait for this poison orb to drop. Drifting ahead of it, actually.
Mary's so far ahead. Sonda had no idea. Trying to wander back towards A. Absolutely pulled astray, and now we're looking towards B. Wall still in place.
And this was a good setup as well. The wall towards B main and the Viper spit on A. The fact that G2 find value in mid doesn't really matter. It doesn't draw the rotation.
Okay, Flowerful position found.
Let's play.
Tour de force invested too. Hunter's Fury going to be sent through on this, and Petra swinging deeper
Oh my
towards middle,
God.
trying to clear it. Flowerful still standing, KP still alive. It ain't over just yet. 2 players, Benita and KP up against 4.
1 enemy remaining.
Make it just 1. Benita, last player standing
30
here.
seconds left.
And what more can she do?
Spike
The
planted.
reoccurring nightmare of Giuliano in finals, Petra in finals, Mimi in finals. She's faced it before, and she's facing it again. 2-10 on the half here, Mike. It's looking like G2 are back in the building.
Absolutely, and it requires Shopify to completely turn things around in the second half. G2 just in control of the pacing once again.
1 enemy remaining.
This is where that conversation comes back towards this comp. Whether or not the switch up really does look good for Shopify.
This is getting scary now for Shopify fans and for the desk who backed them here. Let's find out if they still stand by that.
We will indeed in just a moment at Pansy, but first, again, Kukuka, it might have been even worse if it weren't for another thrifty from Shopify.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to take a look at this round because I think that the first half has been everything that we expected to see for G2. I wanted to come in here and say, oh my god, Mary mode activated for having everybody going crazy, but it was actually rounds like this where we see sloppy mistakes. Petra goes in to plant the spike, but Mimi's on the back, there's still no wall, and then everything starts falling out outer piece, and we can see that it is not Shopify that is completely disconnected from the game or just not even trying. It's actually G2 going on a different gear and just maybe losing control of the speed that they're applying onto the game. Still, it's a 2-10 half, and you know what they say, 2 is all they get.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like G2 kind of like lose the eco and then they like quickly fix themselves up. They're like, okay guys, wait, let's not do that kind of stuff again. And so like, funnily enough, Shopify only won the 2 rounds on eco, and one of them was Flowerful getting an ace. So, you know, it's definitely rough, but I think like, yeah, going forward, Shopify is definitely going to have to pull out a lot of stops for this one.
They really are. I mean, the confidence that they need on those ecos, they need them on these gun rounds. But thankfully for Shopify, moving over to the attack side, we've seen their IceBox, we've seen their B main protocols coming out and really rewarding them. The layers that they have and the way that they utilize KP and Sonder together. Both the initiators with this utility, it's so crucial that they get the right information so that they know when they can actually press the issue and move forward, gain the ground, and actually use Lori so that they can put themselves in those post positions, right? And yesterday, they also had some interesting looks where they sent KP across map all alone, solo, and with that distraction, they're able to send Lori in and get a quick plant as well. So a lot of options for Shopify, but a huge mountain in front of them.
It's so important that you mentioned that, because in so many instances we've seen Glance, Mimi, even Giuliano sometimes just going on the flank, just being so cheeky and unexpected. We need to see the same for Shopify if they want to close this out. Otherwise, I guess we'll go to map 5.
I mean, it's a hard hopium here. Pansy and Hypo, let's see if they can make that comeback.
Biggest question there is, but at 2-10, Mike, I feel we are going all the way here. I think it has to be all the maps. And at this point, you've got to feel there's that sinking feeling in your stomach if you're Shopify Rebellion, right? You had map advantage, you had 2 maps up to the good, there's 1 more to close it. We've got them on the ropes. And then suddenly, G2 have woken up. You've prodded the bear a little too much.
That works.
And now look at what you're facing.
Early on here. See that? Under the headshot though. You have to slow things down here. Quick push towards mid. Nullified here by the slow orb. By seemingly looking to commit on it though. Lots of damage done. Giuliano posted deep below belt.
Oh. Turns around and spots Flowerful. Tries to dip away. 22 HP and gets healed up as she does slip away from this. G2 are here though, not alone. 4 players leaning this way, as we are starting to see Petra now making her way over towards that A site.
Great damage control as well in mid. Glance already posted up deep outside tube, so has control of this rotation here, but just gives up the angle.
And spotted 2 though, that's quite big information.
Yeah.
Noting the Viper initially and then the KO, so she's well aware that they are now
Petra's
changing their
still
mind.
over here though.
I don't know how Petra got over here so fast. We've just instantly called it. Now, if Petra can do some damage here, that'd be fantastic. It'll drop out a little bit of utility, but now overwhelmed. So many players coming her way. Does have support, but not quite there. Petra 1 with 2.
Gosh.
Oh, Petra goes huge for G2.
It's another Prime Gaming flawless on the pistol for G2. Time and time again. Absolute insanity from Petra.
The fact she was there that early, the just control on this. And this was the start again, though. The rotation wasn't a bad shout either. Glance able to see it so quickly, but yeah, just beautiful work.
And Shopify only going to bring 4 Sheriffs to 1 scope in the hands of Flowerful here. I'm going to try and flip round 14 in their favor. Again, the adjustment of the trap as well. This is the sort of thing I was talking about with that recent tape
Small changes,
of what
yeah.
Shopify tried to achieve on the attack, dealing with that trap, pushing and pulling rotations.
And they just don't even have the rounds to really explore, noting what they've achieved or not.
They can't really employ any conditioning because I don't think this half's going to go long enough.
No. You'd have had to have won the pistol and give yourself that little bit of a buffer to try and do that fact-finding, get those results in. Here it's, we got to make something happen now. It's got to be kind of working in the dark. Giuliano, they want to be disruptive. Want to get in their face, and she does! Drags 2 away and spins off into the distance, trying to find Flowerful. Benita finally stops the rot, but by that point they're left in tatters, down to just 2. And it feels like 12 is about to be etched on that board, and G2 might be breaking Shopify Rebellion in half with this.
Petra and Mary still here. Deeper hold, but 2 players on the flank posted up, and Petra with a very awkward angle to clear, and it will pay
Perfect.
dividends.
Did I get inside your head?
You see here, Shopify going to be struggling to even bring anything into round 15 with G2 on 12 already.
And this is going to be the most bitter of losses if it does come down that way for Shopify Rebellion. 2 blowout games, 2 blowout maps after really clawing it forward, after facing so many hurdles, getting to this point, and then G2. There was a switch hit. I don't know what the hell happened between 2 of those maps.
I mean, like I said, it's heartbreaking to even see such a stomp coming through in any map in the grand final. The back-to-back stomps raises even more questions.
Feel like you've forgotten how to win, how to shoot, how to do anything. Giuliano gonna find Benita.
They found my trap.
Shopify Rebellion on the run, trying to quicken the pace a little bit. There's 4 players here. There's so much presence on this B site already. Petra, ready, waiting, and willing. Does get overwhelmed in the end. A little bit of chip damage done, but they make it count. Shopify gonna find 2. Now 3 more to go. Oh, and it's messy, but Mimi still gonna claim 2 of them with her. Down to a 2v2 now. We have KP and Flowerful. Mary and Giuliano. It's Giuliano to pull out KP, but it's Mary to find him. And Flowerful now, last one alive. How much can you do here? Already spotted by Mary. They're toying with her. 13-2, G2.